Now, Bristol City would be 5th in the league if matches finished on 90 minutes. Welcome back to another year of Where Robins Walk. This is 20 minutes of Bristol City chat. And this week we are talking about the Christmas period and previewing the FA Cup game against Wolves. We've got Liam, Ben and Sam, who all three of them travel up and down the country watching the mighty Robins weekly and then coming here to chat about it for 20 minutes a week. Thank you very much for joining us, you three. Happy New Year to you all. You had a good break?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Good stuff. Right, let's have a look then at what's coming up and our discussion points for this week. We are going to talk about the Wolves game, of course, in a second. We're going to talk about Jason Knight and just how good he is. Fortress Ashton Gate, and we're going to talk about the top 3 players that we think we should sign in January. Rumours around Harry Darling from Swansea plus others, so stay around for that. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. We know there's tons of other Bristol City content out there, but press the subscribe button. We want to get this growing as quickly as we possibly can. Right then, Sam, you've been to pretty much all the Christmas games. Let's have a quick look back on all of them, show me, before we dive into Wolves. Last time we chatted, it was just before Boxing Day. I mean, you couldn't ask for any better, could you? And if you'd have hung on against Plymouth, it would have been 12 out of 12.
Yeah, I mean, other than that West Brom result, it would have been a perfect Christmas for us, to be fair. And then, like you said, Plymouth, it was just devastating. Another last-minute goal conceded. And that's 11 points dropped in the last minute for us. And we could be right up there on the table if it weren't for our last-minute performance.
Absolutely. The stats say you would be 5th, I think, if games finished, as we said, on 90 minutes. Let's talk about that Portsmouth result just for a minute, Liam. I watched a little bit of that myself. You were excellent, weren't you?
Yeah, I think we owed it, considering the reverse game down at their place. But yeah, we came flying out of the traps. 3 fairly quick goals in quick succession, so it was good to see us play really on the front foot. Second half, different story. I think they shorted up a little bit in the second half. Could have been more. I think my mate was trying a little bit too hard to get his hat trick. I think he could have had another 2 or 3 in the second half. So really, it should have been 5 or 6, but take the 3-0 win.
Absolutely. And Ben, about the Derby result, which is the most recent one, how was that? Was that certainly a more cagey affair? But was that the right result in the end?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a very cagey game. It was a very resolute performance from us. I thought we just edged it. I think a draw would have been fair as well, but I definitely don't think they should have won. But yeah, I thought it was a resolute performance, and there were a lot of positives to take from it, definitely.
Okay. All right, some quick fire conversations now on some players, because we've of course had lots of games. So Sam, last we left, Max O'Leary was getting pelters from Ben and from Liam on this channel. Is he justified his position again?
Yeah, I mean, there's no competition for his position at the moment. But I mean, yesterday he made several really good saves. And, you know, there's been times he makes mistakes, but what goalkeeper doesn't make mistakes? You know, it's that one position which is the highly critical position.
Yeah. Liam McCory. Read a few reports saying he's getting turned in games. Something's off with him. Do you agree?
But no, I think he's had quite a decent Christmas period myself personally. I think the equaliser that Plymouth got was an absolute needless tackle over near the touchline. There was no need for him to make that tackle. That being said, the defending for when it was put in the box was terrible as well. So that's not all solely on him. I think that just comes part of being a big lad, really, being turned easy. I can't name any tall centre-backs that haven't got a turn and circle of the QE2. But no, I think he's been one of our better players over the Christmas period, him and Jason Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like McNally. I think he's proven to be a solid championship signing.
We'll come on to Jason Knight in a second, Ben. But who else has stood out for you over this Christmas period?
I think Max Bird, for me as well. He's been excellent in the midfield. We're starting to see him a bit more creative. We know he's got a really good forward pass in him. I think with Jason Knight, a bit more of a defensive midfielder in there, gives Max Bird a bit more freedom. I wouldn't have him as a 10, but I think where they're playing at the moment with that double kind of pivot in there, with Max Bird being given a bit more freedom, he's really coming into his own and he's been looking really creative. The through balls have been excellent. And I think off the ball as well, he goes unnoticed a bit because he works hard for us.
Okay. On to Jason Knight then. Thanks, man. Sam obviously is more known for his prowess in the defence of the midfield, but popped up with his second goal of the season. Is he having one of his better seasons for you?
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, a lot of fans are criticising him towards the end of November, early December. And I think over the Christmas period, he's really come into his own. And it was a great goal away at Plymouth. I mean, the composure he showed to do that little chip. And then against Derby, I think he ran the midfield. He's doing really well.
One other player or one other discussion point, Liam, is about Manning himself, and we've talked about his substitutions in the past. Are you more on the fence of that? So he does know what he's doing now after the run of games you've had?
It's still, I think he's done well. He's managed them well over the Christmas period, especially with the likes of McCory and Tanner. I've got to give a quick mention to McCory as well. I think he's been one of the standout players over the period as well, along with McNally and Knight. I think he's still got that witch now at 60 minutes. We know at 60 minutes, we know to look towards the bench to see what's happening, and we know it'll be the centre forwards. I think where he's so set in his ways with doing that, I think sometimes he needs to come away from that a little bit. Because I think even the opposition managers could probably say, right, we know this sub and this sub's going to happen at this time. So on the whole, though, I think he's had a fairly decent. He seems to be getting us winning, which is the main thing. And obviously, we've climbed the table with that. So fair play to him for finding something to a recipe that's working really. And I think it comes down to partly playing Max Bird in that sixth position alongside Knight. He looks a totally different player in there. Him and Knight together, they dovetail perfectly. I think probably up there with one of the best partnerships in centre midfield in the Championship for me.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Next up then for Bristol City, of course, it's the FA Cup this weekend. We thought we'd have a look back at your FA Cup prowess to kickstart this particular campaign. Ben, why is it, do you think, that you've never won this competition, given your long-standing history as a football club? You know, why is it that you've been in one final but never actually won it?
It could be a case of not taking it seriously enough. I don't know. Don't think we've really ever gone for, in my lifetime. It's never been the primary focus. We've never gone into the season and gone, let's really go for one of the cups this year. It's always been promotion. So I think that's part of it. I think.
Let's have a look,
shall we? The squad.
Yeah, almost certainly. So Sam, you've rarely got out of the fifth round. When you've got to the fifth round in the past, you've come up against City, Sheffield United, of course, and it was Wolves, of course, in 18-19, just before the pandemic, that knocked you out. Who you'll meet again this weekend. But what would you put this down to Bristol City's regularity of exiting at the third round?
Yeah, it's just a given with us. You know, the FA Cup hasn't really been a priority for us. We know we're never going to win it. It's nice to have a little cup run, bring some bums on the seats for Bristol City, but we ain't never going to win it, are we?
But then you look at teams like Portsmouth and Hull and Stoke. They've all been in finals recently. Why not Liam go for it? You think?
And to be fair, retract my statement. Cardiff weren't they a Championship side when they got to the final?
The Millwall were as well, I think.
Millwall,
yeah. Yeah. So if Millwall, if those two teams, why can't you do it?
The best cup run we had was that Carabao Cup run under Lee Johnson when we got to the semi-final against Man City. I'd love a really good cup run, but my days at Wembley have never been a happy day, so I don't want to go there again.
Liam, it is Wolves then this weekend. I've got a funny feeling you just might beat them. Might be taking its extra time, but what do you reckon?
I think now that Kuna's suspended, I think that's a massive boost for us. I think if he was playing, we'd have no chance. I think he's a quality player. I think we just got to go for it. I think the only thing I worry is if we do put a team out for, we're going to put a team out. We're going to try and win it. There's no way we won't, especially after last year with the West Ham and Forest games. But I don't want us to fall into the trap of, say, hypothetically, if we lose on Saturday, and then that ruins our season completely. I think that will be in the back of Manning's mind. We need to keep this momentum going. So I personally think he's going to go for it. Nice little cup run. But I can't see us going much further than sort of the fourth. If we get through this, it all depends on this lady luck of the draw, really, isn't it? But I think Saturday will be a good game. It's a winnable one.
I saw some messages, Liam, that saying, "Oh, he's going to rest some players," and I don't understand why. I mean, you're in no danger of going down. Yes, you could push for playoffs if you can sort your away form out. So why would he rest players?
I think it comes down to rotation. You look at the back three. You've got Dickey, Viner, and McKnight. They've all played a lot of football this season, and I think even Manning said that Dickey was tired yesterday when we played Derby. But that being said, they've just loaned Rob Atkinson out to Portsmouth, so he hasn't got anyone really to rotate in.
There's a big talk at the moment. Apparently, we bid for Harry Darling from Swansea.
Yeah, we'll come on to that in a minute. Yeah,
he played under Manning at MK Dons, didn't he?
I can't see it. I just can't see it. Why would they loan out? I know they've got Axon to get minutes, but why would they loan out a players? I'm not saying Harry Darling's not proving the championship, of course he is, but I just can't see us going and signing a centre back. Especially
we need a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer.
Okay.
But the only thing I think now with Pring being injured as well, he has got no option to play unless he won't change the system. And I can't see him throwing in Elijah Morrison at left wing back. The only thing I can see happening is putting Bell at wing back and moving Roberts into one of the central positions to rest maybe Dickey or McNally. But other than that, I think, or even bring in Tanner for Viner.
Okay.
That's
All right.
the only thing I can probably see him doing.
All right, thanks for that, Liam. Ben, your predictions then for the FA Cup, or do you even care? Would you sooner beat Coventry the week after?
No, I think I'd rather beat Coventry personally, but I definitely care about it. I think a nice cup run would be good. I think, assuming they rotate, they're still going to bring a very strong team because they have got a good squad. And obviously, they've got a bit of a new manager bounce at the moment. So it's going to be a really tough game. But at home, I do have a half feeling that we could get something from it. I think we can at least take it to kind of extra time. So maybe 1-1. And yeah, we'll see what happens on penalties.
Yeah, you mean you're playing a Premier League side who have got bigger priorities than the FA Cup, who are not going to play their full strength side. And you're at home, Fortress Ashton Gate, which is leads us nicely on Sam to our next little discussion point. Explain what's different at Ashton Gate versus away from home, because watching you against Plymouth and watching you against Portsmouth, like watching two different sides.
Yeah, I would love to say it was the atmosphere. But I mean, lately the atmosphere has been dead at Ashton Gate, and you can ask any fan that. But it must just be the feeling of playing on our home pitch. You know, when we go away, just a lot of supporters against us, and we don't tend to perform. But at home, it's a nice, quiet place to play at the moment.
Fair enough. Liam, what do you put it down to?
He seems to have flipped it on its head a little bit. You look at earlier on the season, we were winning away from home and not winning at home. And Manning's always alluded to the fact he needs to make Ashton Gate a fortress. So I think can't put my finger on what's changed. I think the change of systems helped. We're a bit more expansive. We definitely utilise the wings a bit more, especially with the wing backs pushing high. Maybe it is just a feeling of playing in front of your own fans and giving us something to cheer about. That could be simply that could be it. But it's nice to see, regardless of what it is. It's nice to see us winning at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And of all the teams of those 4 fixtures, Bristol City were right at the top of the form league in those with those 4 results as well. So all good. All right then. It is January, of course, so we know the transfer window is now open for another 25 days or so, Ben. So there's always lots of rumours flying around. The Harry Darling one, as Sam has already mentioned, has already reached us. Do you suspect that's just paper talk, or do you suspect there might be more in it?
I think there will be more in it, and I can see us picking them up. And I think we do need a centre back. I know it's not ideal. We don't want to be sat here saying we need a centre back. It's a bit boring because we have been good defensively, but I mean, we only need one of them to get injured, and we're going to really struggle. The only other player we've got is Naismith, who's out injured at the moment. I'm not comfortable with Naismith coming into this team at the moment for me. So we need a centre back, possibly more than we need a striker. So I think we are going to have to bring in someone. Whether or not it's Harry Darling or not, I'm not too sure, but they seem like he's a favoured option. So yeah, I can see us picking up a centre back, and Harry Darling is someone that has got good championship pedigree. So I think it's a good shout.
Okay, all right then. Let's give us other players that we'd love to see sign for Robins then in the next couple of weeks. Sam, give us a name.
Yeah, I love to see Evan Ferguson come in on loan. I mean, that's well without our reach, but if we could get a striker like that, that'd be amazing.
Okay, what a realistic one. Right.
Yeah.
Liam.
I was looking at it earlier. I've got 3 names in mind. Centre forward wise, obviously the 2 we've signed that haven't really hit the ground running or don't look like they're going to. I'd be looking at Richard Coney from Wigan. I saw a bit of a report the other day saying we've been touted to be looking at him. I like Poku from Peterborough as well, but again, he's more of a winger. Thilo Asgard from Wigan. He can play off the shoulder as a 10. And defensively, Brandon Williams. It might be a long shot. He's without a club. But the thing I like about Williams, though, he can play left or right. So if he came in to play left, that means if we did get an injury at centre back, Pring, when he is fit, or Roberts could slide into the middle. Williams could be an option there. The same on the right-hand side. McCory or Tanner can play in the middle, and he could go play on the right. So I think someone like Brandon Williams on a free, still without a club, as far as I'm aware anyway, that'd be one I'd be possibly looking into, just for the versatility fact.
To be fair, 3 of the 4 signings you said then are my first signings I go for on Championship Manager for Bristol City.
Very good. Ben, can you add to this wish list?
I think the Ipswich attacking midfielder, I know he's been rumoured, Al Hamadi. He's been rumoured, I think, previously with us, and I think he's still rumoured, and that'd be a good. He's getting a lot of Premier League minutes, so that'd be definitely a good addition to the team. And kind of, I think I agree with the Richard Coney shout. I think he looks like a really good prospect, and we do still need a striker. So, yeah, if we can pick him up as well, and hopefully he can score some goals.
Okay, brilliant.
To be fair, one player, I mean, I know he didn't perform that well Saturday, was Jerry Yates at Derby.
Yeah, thing is,
if you add him in our side, I think he scored a hatful of goals.
He'll score goals for you, definitely.
Yeah, when he was at Blackpool, we almost signed him, didn't we?
Yeah, we tried to sign him then, and then he ended up going to the other side of the bridge. But
yeah.
I'm not sure our Swansea fans would agree with what you've just said, given that he was a bit of a dud for them. Right, okay. Any people you want to ship out?
Be Naismith for me.
Yeah, I think
it's a waste of money with wages.
I think the only reason we would keep Naismith is just for depth. But apart from that, he's not any use really on the pitch. But
you say that, Ben, he's always injured, so there's no depth there at
Yeah.
all. I think he spent more time injured than he has been available since he signed for us. It's an absolute waste of wages.
He comes back, he plays 2 games, and then he's injured for 3 months.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the higher earners at the club. I'd be surprised if we're looking at $750,000 a year for his wages.
Yeah, definitely. They had to give him a nice package for him to leave Luton that time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, like Cornick, a lot of people want him gone, but why hasn't he had a chance in this side? I know he's not the best player in the world, Cornick, but surely he's going to put a lot more effort in than what we're seeing up front at the moment.
I prefer him up top rather than Miulu and Armstrong, if I'm completely honest. And I will get shot for that. I don't mind that, but I agree with you. I see him on the bench warming up, and I feel so sorry for the guy, knowing he ain't getting on the pitch, and the effort he puts on. Yeah.
He may not be the best player in the world, but he gives 110% when he comes on the pitch, and he can't be no worse than what we got out there at the moment.
You look at when he was at Luton, he played more of a 10 when he was at Luton, and we're playing 2 10s at the moment, and you can't keep flogging Mehmeti and Twine every week, because Mehmeti looks nasty come the last 10 minutes of the game, and Twine gets brought off within an hour of playing. So maybe looking at playing him off the shoulder of like a Wells, where I think
I mean we can't knock Mehmeti at the moment. I mean the criticism we give him earlier on in the season on this channel. And I mean, he's come on 9 goals now, and everybody's moaning we lost Conway, but he scored more goals than Conway at Middlesbrough this season. And I think once he gets that fitness, he's another player gone to Bournemouth.
I think he's got the fitness. It's just obviously with the effort he has been putting in recently. I've seen him tracking back a lot more than what I have done recently.
100%. His teamwork is much better. It's just still his decision making is just not quite there. But then he's been bang on form lately. And look at his goals he scored over Christmas.
I would go as far to say he's more indispensable than Twine at the moment, and that's a big accolade from me.
Yeah, that's a big statement. Yeah. Okay. Right, thank you 3 very much. There, we'll leave it there. This is a year I think Bristol City are going to get further in the FA Cup than they ever done before. All starts against Wolves this weekend. Their first. Right, let us know.
We want the FA Cup. We want the playoffs. We want the playoffs.
All I'm going to say, last time we played Wolves around Christmas time, and we lost.
Don't mention that. That was under Lee Johnson. That ruined our season. That Wolves defeat, that last-minute winner from Ryan Bennett.
I still blame Marlon Pack.
Right. Thank you very much. Drop us in the comments. What are the top 3 players you would want to see the Robins signing in the next 3 weeks? And we'll look back at some of them next week as we preview the Coventry game in 7 days' time. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Liam. Do drop us a like. Do that now. Thank you very much. Drop us a subscribe if you haven't yet already done so. Have a fantastic week. Enjoy the FA Cup game. We'll see you in 7 days' time to see if we're on to round 4. Catch you then.
Cheers, guys.